Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. Welcome. Hollywood After Dark, Episode 2, Midday Edition. I know it's funny to name it that, but that's the name I like for it. That's the name I have for it. When we do the later in the evening streams, that's the nearly midnight movie chat. And those are a lot of fun because anything goes. And I literally say anything. I've said a lot of dumb things. And I've said things completely stone sober that people think that I'm entirely intoxicated when I say it. The truth of the matter is I just get loopy when I'm tired. And I think everything is funny. It's like weed, but without actually having to smoke. Which maybe I should probably pick up as a side hobby or something. Who knows? But anyway, welcome. Welcome to the show. So we got a lot to talk about today. Not a lot of time, but a lot to cover. So first off, I want to talk about this story that's going to be going on, that's making the way rounds today. Russo Bros want to tackle Star Wars. This is something that a lot of people have been talking about. It's making its way across the internet. Of course, the creators of two of the highest grossing films of all time, now one of the highest grossing films. And if you put Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame back to back as one movie, which I think you should, you're looking at nearly I think just a little over $5 billion for that one entity. That's a success, which means at this point that the Russo Bros can literally do anything they want. They can do anything they want. And what we're hearing about today, coming off of a podcast with, comicbook.com, they are now interested in wanting to take Star Wars in new directions. And I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty freaking cool that they want to take Star Wars in a bunch of different directions, a new direction. I mean, I think coming off of the sequel trilogy, it makes the most amount of sense to want them to take it someplace different. But this is the actual quote. This is what they actually said. They said here, they revealed this during a Pizza Film School episode with Hamill, that the original Star Wars films heavily influenced their efforts in Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame, having previously said they would love to work on a Star Wars film if they find the shoe that fits. Their idea for the franchise is something wholly original, more in line with what The Mandalorian is doing than going back to the Skywalker saga. And look, here's the thing. If they can go back to if they can continue The Mandalorian, if they can continue what Favreau is doing, continue that sandbox and play with that digital jungle, by all means, I think we'd get a lot of really cool things out of the Russos, considering the fact that Infinity War and Endgame were predominantly shot on sound stages. It looked fantastic. And the technology is getting better and better and better all the time. It just requires us to have better storytellers. And I think that the Russos are very good at that. I mean, as a side note, I'd love to see what Zack Snyder could come up with playing around in the stagecraft technology. And maybe with HBO Max and some DC stuff, we might see that. But going back to this article here, this is what Joe Russo says. He says, I love the sandbox that Jon Favreau is playing in right now and the time frame that he's exploring in the Star Wars universe. I mean, obviously, it was hugely important to us as kids and hugely important to our desire to become filmmakers. I don't know that there's particularly a character. I mean, I think there's a lot of stories that have been told that started with the original universe. I'd be interested in seeing something completely new, directions in the story, and maybe new characters in a completely different time period. That would be interesting. And here's a question for you. Here's just a simple little, what's going on right now with Star Wars? Huh? What's happening right now with Star Wars? A couple things, actually, that might actually kind of lead to this not just being some kind of proclamation for a desire for the future, but in fact, the reality of which we could be possibly inhabiting. And hey, listen, 2020 blows. So this could be some good Star Wars news. As reported last August, nearly a year ago, Kevin Feige coming on board to produce a Star Wars movie. We don't know anything more about that, right? We don't know anything more about that. All we know, officially all we know is that Taika Waititi is directing a Star Wars movie. Is it the 2022 film? They haven't said. And with Star Wars Celebration being canceled until next year, And nothing really new on the horizons in regards to, entertainment outside of Mandalorian Season 2, which thankfully has already been shot before the shutdown. There's not much going on, with the exception of one thing. And that, of course, is the High Republic. The High Republic. I've been saying this forever since the announcement came. And those of you who watch my channel know this. I've been saying this literally forever. The High Republic is where they're going to want to take the movies. They're going to want to bridge a prequel series so far prequely from the OT or the PT that they'll be able to then use it as a way to act as a segue into China. I ain't making that up either. I think this is what they're going to do. So you think about it. What do you say there? I want to go in new directions, new characters, new timeline. Well, gee, that kind of sounds like the High Republic Publishing Initiative. Now, granted, that also got delayed until early next year, although you can read the first chapter of Charles Soule's Light of the Force, I think is the name of that novel. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard good things about that chapter. And so I think a lot of people are going to get really excited for that as it starts to come back around. But look, I'll be honest with you guys, man. If the Avengers directors, not only that, I don't want to just say Infinity War and Endgame directors, okay? And not even Civil War directors, because I think all three of those are fantastic movies. I do think Infinity War is better than Endgame as far as storytelling is concerned, but I think Endgame's a solid conclusion. Screw that. Go back to The Winter Soldier. That's what I want to see, right? That's the kind of film I want to see from the Russo Bros in regards to some kind of Star Wars story, where it is in fact politically motivated, where it is in fact grounded, more grounded than the other movies that they did, but the story was tight, it was concise with good characters, and it was a badass movie. That's the kind of story I want to see them do. And if they could tackle that somehow, actually tackle like the war part of Star Wars, but really giving it to us in regards to like boots on the ground type intrigue type situations. Hell yeah, man. I'm down for that. Heartbeat, I'm down for that. So definitely down for that one, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, right now, nothing is set in stone. Not a damn thing is set in stone, but the future can bring anything, as we've learned in some respects. It can bring anything. So this is where we find ourselves. So let's jump over here to this story. There was a quick Tron 3 update. If you want to believe that it's real, it could in fact just be a fake story. We don't know. This is coming in from the Dis Insider. I think it's the Dis Insider, the Disney Insider. They posted this last night. An update on Tron. Exclusive coming in from Derek Cornell. And this is what Derek says here. He says, a couple months back, our trusted source, there's that word again, sources, informed us that a Tron reboot with Jared Leto is still in the works and a director search is underway. Now, that is not the most significant update I've heard. From what I've been told, the film is expected to be more of a Tron sequel rather than a reboot. And the cast of Tron Legacy could return. It is unknown at this time if the film will follow the same story as the canceled third film, Tron Ascension, which would have seen the machine world of the grid invade the real world. That was also rumored to have a featured character named Ares. And then, of course, it does follow up with asking the real question, the hard question, the true question. Will Daft Punk return? Because as a diehard Daft Punk fan, I think their soundtrack for Tron Legacy was simply to die for. It was wonderful. It was a chef's kiss. Mwah, so good. But listen, I don't know. I mean, I think Tron is a Disney Plus series, if you want my honest opinion. I think Tron is not for theatrical worlds. It didn't do very well in 2010. Not as well as Disney would have liked. They did the Tron Uprising animated show, which I think was canceled after like 2 seasons. Maybe 1 season. I forget. Disney doesn't know what to do with a franchise like that. Even though in the digital age, they quite frankly know everything to do. It's not hard. We all live online. Play up Tron 3 to something like where it's Screen Life Tech or something like that, you know? And again, talking about the volume, the stagecraft technology, it could be great for trying to make it a big thing. So I'm down for that. Whatever they want to do. Now, interestingly enough, I don't think this is going to have John Ridley attached to it. John Ridley was previously attached to Tron Ascension, I think, and he was the one who wrote 12 Years a Slave and went out there and was campaigning for Gone with the Wind to be taken out to pasture and just, beaten with a shovel. So I'm glad he's not involved. I'm sorry. I didn't like I didn't like what he had to say with that shit, to be honest with you. I thought that was kind of dumb. But I will say I do like the response from HBO Max. They didn't kill Gone with the Wind. They gave it a nice information-laced 4-minute little video, which is cool right there. And I thought that was good. So there's that. That's what's going on with Tron the Third. Hopefully we'll get more later on. Let's talk about this one here. This popped up today right as I was getting ready to record, which is why I tossed it in. Dante Basco really wants to reboot Rufio. Now, if you recall, back in, I think it was 1991's Hook, we got Rufio. And of course, that is like the one role that Dante Basco has been clinging to for nearly 30 years. And look, I'm not gonna like fault the guy for it. I'm not gonna fault the guy for wanting to like go back to this character. It's his one defining character. When you go like, oh, hey, wait a minute, isn't that guy? And then someone's like, you mean Rufio from Hook? Yeah. And then, you see him and you go like, Rufio. And then he's all like, Rufio, and so like he's in on the joke and he's happy about it. But he's trying to get back to it. So here's what we know. This is a little clip that was posted to Twitter from Collider. They were doing an interview with him earlier today. And, they're posting the interview, but this is a snippet to give you an idea.
Nice. We'll get you out of here soon, Dante. But speaking of Rufio, is there any? I know a while back there was an interest of you doing a solo movie. Or would you be interested in bringing that back and doing that again? Or
yeah, there's we're in development for something that's Rufio based, so it's out there. I mean, we'll be pitching soon. I mean, this people know about it. I can't really drop about it.
Yeah, I got you.
But it's a origin story of Rufio, and it would be animated. Ooh. And I'd come back and voice the character. Let's put it like that.
All right. We're not gonna get you in trouble. I'm not gonna tease any more of that.
Okay, I mean that's not bad, right? An animated Rufio prequel, voiced by the guy who played Rufio nearly 30 years ago. But if you listen to his voice, hasn't really changed much. And so, of course, Dante Basco wants to come back in and do this, and I don't blame him. But what we know where it's at right now, if you listen to what he had to say, what he was saying is not necessarily that it's coming. It's just that he's going to be pitching it as an animated show. I'm pretty sure that little graphic that popped up there was probably just more of a, concept art, so to speak. And that's what they're working on. And that's cool, man. Like, I would check it out. I would totally check it out. I just find it to be interesting that here we are, so many decades removed from Hook, and like the one guy holding on to its legacy is desperate to get back to it. And I wish him the best of luck. I really do. I think it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Will have to be interesting to see where it goes. So let's talk about the big controversial news of the day. Halle Berry, Miss Halle Berry, apparently has quit a role. She has dropped out of a transgendered role following backlash. And if you pay attention to like Hollywood, like this happens frequently. It happened to Scarlett Johansson, I think a year or two ago. She was going to play this kind of like I want to say a crime lord who happened to like transition into a man. And it was going to be her story his story going from being a woman to transitioning into a man. And a lot of people were super upset with Scarlett Johansson over it. They're like, how dare you? That's not your story to tell. And of course, this was coming off of the Ghost in the Shell controversy where she was playing the main character in that. And people were furious because why isn't it an Asian woman playing this main character? Those people clearly never went to go see the movie to kind of understand the colonial aspect of it. Whatever, man. I actually went to go see the movie to make sure I had the context of it. But this is what Halle Berry said on Twitter yesterday morning about this. She says, over the weekend, I had the opportunity to discuss my consideration of an upcoming role as a transgender man. I'd like to apologize for those remarks. As a cisgender woman, I now understand that I should not have considered this role and that the transgender community should undeniably have the opportunity to tell their own stories. I am grateful for the guidance and critical conversation over the past few days and will continue to listen and educate and learn from this mistake. I vow to be an ally using my voice to promote better representation on screen, both in front of the camera, and I'm assuming that other thing says behind it as well. The little tag was blocking it. Another one of those stories. It's another one of like the yada, 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 yada. I'm sorry. Look, fine. Like, dip out of the role. But, you know, this bending over backwards thing. It's like, unless you are going to put your money up, unless you are going to put your cash up, and you're going to sit there and you're going to pay to produce a movie or a show or a play or a podcast or something that amplifies Black or trans voices, like, then don't just sit there and go, I'm going to do this, because the thing is, at this point, it's just virtue signaling. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything to anyone anymore. All it is Hollywood comes out and they're just like, I'm so sorry, I was considering a role. I'm going to use my position to do some stuff. Like Andy Samberg was giving an interview, I think in Entertainment Weekly, and he was talking about how, you know, they're unsure about the future of Brooklyn Nine-Nine because of the massive anti-cop sentiment right now. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's a great show. I love that show. The show like does a lot to like play with, play against stereotypes and to make fun of stereotypes, while at the same time attempting to actually be a pretty damn inclusive, considering that like the two female leads in that show are both Latinas. You know, I mean, Stephanie Beatrice and I forget her name right now, but Amy. I forget her name, but it's like they're, you know, you've got two Latina women as leads. I mean, it's a very inclusive show. Terry Crews is in it. You know, I mean, like, you've got a ton of people that are not white that are in this show, and they're all part of the, you know, look, and it's a funny ass show. If you've never seen it, you're really, really, really missing out. Some of those cold opens are to die for. And a lot of people love it, to the point of where when NBC canceled it, or when Fox canceled it, NBC picked it up. But now they're unsure if they want to go back and they want to do it because, you know, people who are upset are unable to understand how the world works sometimes. And that's unfortunate. Not to say that, look, I don't want to be taken out of context on that one. I support reform. I support seeking justice. I support equality, all of those things, 100%. But I also view this as a pragmatist approach to storytelling. It's like when you have these situations where, you know, like someone screws up and then they go, I quit. Right. And that's meant to show this, like, you know, oh, whatever. Like, I'm going to walk away. And then you go, but wait, but you're not taking the opportunity to learn from the mistakes while you're in the position to learn from them and then grow and benefit. If you make a mistake and then you quit, it doesn't actually solve anything. It just passes the buck to the next person who might be as equally fallible as you in the first place. You know, like, it's one of those things. You see this in, like, I think it was in this whole situation right now with these protests, like a lot of law enforcement, like these chiefs of police are quitting. I don't want to go all political, but it's like these chiefs of police are quitting. And I'm just like, that's such a dumb thing to do. Because instead of working at your job to actually fix something and better something and make it better, you're putting your tail between your legs and you're running away. And the next person, and especially in my home city of Portland, man, they go through police chiefs like it's freaking used underwear because of all this stuff. But when it comes to these shows, when it comes to these roles, there's always got to be context associated with that. And they've also, look, and it's real. You got to look at Hollywood for what it is. It's a business. Hollywood is always a business. It's always been a business, and it will always be a business. And if you can find a way to put the right person in the right role and have it get out in the right way and you all make a buttload of money, then awesome. But the harsh reality of it is, and I talked about the virtue signaling of Halle Berry, you know, at the beginning of the segment, is if she wants to put her money up and like amplify these voices and cool, she's worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. By all means, dude, like go out there and fund it. I support it 100%. But if all you're going to do is just kind of like mealy mouth it from Twitter, it doesn't mean a damn thing. It doesn't mean a damn thing. So go out there, put the money out there, do it. All right. But again, what people don't realize, and a lot of people who talk about this on Twitter, who get all butthurt about these things on Twitter, they don't realize how the industry operates. Because Halle Berry is, I'm using her as an example, because Halle Berry is not necessarily like a full-time producer, like that's not what she does as a job. She has produced, but she does like she acts, right? So she will get attached to a project because other people are producing it and other people are producing this story and they need an actor with a name in order to secure financing in order to be able to make the thing. And they have to rely on that for marketing in order to put butts in seats. You may not like it, but that is the way it works. Now, there are times when people get lucky, but where we are right now with movies and entertainment, it's like they need like the names probably more than ever, but not on the big screen, but on the small screen. And those names could then bring in other people and make things more inclusive. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you got to get them in the door first. So it is what it is. It's a whole mess of a situation. And I know I can see people are taking off and shit. There's that. Yeah. I'm moving on. I went on a rant. This is, whatever, man. All right. So finally, this is what I wanted to talk about today because I think it's kind of funny. Kind of backs up my friend too. There's been a lot of conversation about Janelle Monae potentially coming in to play Storm in Black Panther 2. She wants to, at least. In fact, according to these articles here, Janelle Monae has spoken to Ryan Coogler about a role in Black Panther 2, and she wants to play Storm, saying here in an interview with Empire, the multi-talented Antebellum star revealed that Coogler's Lupita Nyong'o, Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, visiting her Wonderland studio back when Black Panther was filming in Atlanta. She mentioned that she'd be interested in coming on board for a potential sequel, saying, "I've definitely thrown it out there. One of my dreams has always been to play Storm. I don't know if she comes in Black Panther, but it would be a dream to have her in it. I don't know where they are with that. A lot of women have played Storm and they've done an exceptional job. And I would love to be in line of artists or in that line of artists who get to do Storm justice." And the thing is, like, she fits the role. I think she does pretty well. I would love to see her as Storm. I would love to see Storm come in to get more of a role than we got in Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix and whatnot. But one of the reasons why this is interesting to me, one of the reasons why this is fascinating to me is because this story is blowing up today. And when we talk about scoopers and when we talk about that whole environment here on YouTube and the internet at large, there's a lot of people who call a lot of stuff into credibility. And I just kind of have to point this out today because, yes, I'm backing my friend, but I feel it needs to be said. So Mikey Sutton, who I've talked about multiple times, a friend of mine, broke this scoop a while ago. In fact, there's an article on cheatsheet.com from November of last year saying Mikey Sutton gave Strip Marvel the inside scoop on Storm, Janelle Monae, and Black Panther 2, saying Mikey Sutton recently shared a video with his private Facebook group where he shares the insider knowledge he acquired surrounding the MCU and DCEU. According to Sutton and announced by Strip Marvel, Black Panther 2, set to hit theaters in May of 2022, will bring X-Men Storm into the MCU. So this is something that's being talked about today, heavily circulated today, because of what Janelle Monae had said in the Empire article about wanting to be it. And Mikey was talking about that all the way back in November, at least. Well, that's kind of what's going on. And in fact, he sent me this right before I went live today. This is from July 25th of last year. So well before November, where he was posting about this on his personal page, saying, I normally don't post scoops as advanced as this in public, but I did once before with Brie Larson as Captain Marvel a year or two before it became official. As I did then, I'll word this carefully. Apparently, Marvel Studios has interest in Janelle Monae. I have no idea what for, but I'm sure it will create a storm of social media reactions if a deal is made. So, there's a lot of people that hit me up about Mikey all the time. I get messages all the time from people that are just like, how do you know he's credible? I'm like, dude, I take everything he says with a grain of salt. But as we're seeing today, stuff he reported almost a year ago, it's now magically popping up as if something is happening, as if some movement is moving forward with the Phase 5 of Marvel films. So to me, that's pretty cool. I just wanted to talk about that and kind of go where that one is. So anyway, that's all the stories I got for today. Let's talk to you guys for a little bit. Let's see here. All right. Whoopi Goldberg would be a better choice for Storm. She's playing Mother Abigail in The Stand. Shiftygism here says Monae would be a great choice. I agree. Let's see here. They're doing the Storm and Black Panther build the Black ethno state in Harlem storyline from the comics. Probably. That would be interesting. Or maybe it won't be Harlem. It would be Oakland, because that's where we were at the beginning of Black Panther. So I think they would, they don't want to go to Harlem because they still have Luke Cage. Maybe that's like still going to be happening in some universe of some kind. But Oakland seems like the more appropriate place. So let's see here. All right. They so underutilized Storm and Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix. I can see why Ship was angry about it. Yeah, I agree. Apocalypse was a mess of a movie, and Dark Phoenix tried to be less of a mess of a movie, but it ended up being more of a mess of a movie. And they didn't do much with Storm. They really needed like something where everyone was together. Americans Are Stupid here says, finally got a new t-shirt. Shut up. All right. Oh man, you guys really did not like me going off on politics. That's fine. That's fine. That's all good. Let's see here. Let's see. Thoughts on the new Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy Siege trailer that dropped. It looks dope and the animation is top notch. I agree, man. I saw that trailer yesterday. In fact, I posted about it in the Facebook group, which if you are not part of the Facebook group, you should be part of the Facebook group. I've been posting lots of articles in there. We got some memes going on, some polls going on. It's a good place to stay notified because I've been getting people telling me today that they're not getting notifications. So it sucks, but that's where we are. Let's see here. All right. Are they still getting a new lead for Black Panther 2? You mean Chadwick Boseman not being? No, he's going to be in it, man. He's going to be in it. Oh my God, my beard is so gray. Holy crap, I feel old. Actually, I do feel old because Scary Movie came out 20 years ago today. And I remember going to see that opening day when I was 18. And I'm 38. Kill me. Just kill me. All right. Do I find it interesting that Disney can't do sci-fi films? John Carter was so bad, and Tomorrowland was so was Tron Legacy. For one, John Carter is an excellent movie. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Disney couldn't market it. That is true. They failed on the marketing, but the movie itself is excellent. Andrew Stanton did a great job with that film, and it deserved its chance to get a sequel, 100%. Tomorrowland, interesting setup. It did beat you over the head with that environmental message at the end. That is true. But I did like the speech that they gave. I forget who it was that gave that speech. I think Hugh Laurie gave a speech, which I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought the kind of like for the motivations. So I like that. Tron Legacy was amazing. Again, its marketing is a big factor here. And then Star Wars, yeah, Star Wars is divided, but I'd say a lot more people like it than don't. You know, there's a lot more people in the world that have seen Star Wars than those who watch the Fandom Menace hate videos. Let's see here. John Carter was great. They just miscast the lead. Josh Holloway would have rocked it. I think Taylor Kitsch did a good job. I do. I like Taylor Kitsch quite a bit. I thought he did a pretty good job. Holloway would have been good too, though. Also, like Nicholas Costo, fucking Jamie Lannister, dude. He would have been good. Would Halle Berry be willing to come back as Storm? If the money's good, sure. Now that she's out of her role, she might come back. She might be pulling that same thing she tried pulling with Bryan Singer back during the pre-production of X-Men 2 when she went up to him. This is a story he's told. He told us at Comic-Con back in the day. She went up to him and she slammed her Oscar for Monsters ball on his desk and she's like, "Give me shit to do," So there's that. Let's see here. I heard Grace used to work at Marvel. Grace was a writer. She wrote comic books. So yeah, there's that. Janelle Monae is woke. I don't care. Look, James Woods is a crazy Trump-loving sycophant who's probably high on cocaine most of the damn time. I don't care. The dude can act. Tom Cruise is an insane Scientologist. But you will not get me out of a theater on the opening day of the next couple of Mission Impossible movies, or almost, quite frankly, anything else Tom Cruise is going to do. I mean, look, and if they bring us like a Les Grossman movie, if they actually finally pull that one off, I will be there day one, probably camped out a week beforehand, because Tropic Thunder is one of my all-time favorite movies. You can separate the art from the artist. And if you don't, you are doomed to be stuck in the shitty, bland, fucking lame-ass world. 100%. Let's see here. What do I think of the big bat? Oh, I saw that big bat. Yeah, that weird, looks like freaking human vampire, or like a human bat type thing. It's insane. Let's see here. Any John Carter adaptation would feel cliche because of how influential the original source was. Yeah, but it's like 100 years old, man. You know what I mean? Like, no one's gonna care. The adaptation from 8 years ago was good. It was good. We should do a watch party of that on Disney Plus. I think it's on Disney Plus. Let's see here. How far am I from John Campea? Is he in Seattle yet? I'd be about probably 60 miles. Honestly, I think he's moving here in part because Jeremy Johns lives in the area too, which just means that I'm going to have to like find my way into those little like meetings, rolling up and like crash some stuff. Be like, hey, what's going on? John and Jeremy, or Jeremy and John. Let's see here. Okay, hold on. Yes, the Johnny Depp case. Yeah, I know Johnny. There was an article on Daily Mail. I was looking at covering that right now, but there wasn't much there. Let's see here. Hey, Jarbo, hope all is well. It's good. Thank you very much. I'm wondering if you think BVS is really that divisive, or is it just a loud minority? Look, BVS, the theatrical cut was god bad. No one thinks that was good. It was compromise. And that's one of the reasons why, like on 4th of July weekend, when HBO Max dropped the ultimate edition of BVS, it replaced the theatrical, which was on HBO Max. So it's not like they got rid of the theatrical cut. But they have multiple, like for Dr. Sleep, they've got both cuts available. Do you want to watch the theatrical or do you want to watch the extended? So they run both, and they really should run both, but not BVS. No. Don't give me that crap. And it's like when Zack Snyder's Justice League comes out, they're going to probably boot off. They're just going to, peacefully sunset the Justice League movie, Joss Whedon's version. They're just going to relegate it to like nothing because they don't want to have that there. It's some stank. So I think it's fine. Yeah, if you don't watch a movie simply for having an actor's political view you don't like, or some shady past, then there's nothing to watch. Honestly, yeah. Like, I mean, I love Charles S. Dutton as an actor. He's bigger back in the 90s and early 2000s. He killed a guy when he was younger. I learned about it in psychology class. Like, he killed a dude, went to jail for it. Still think he's a good actor. Let's see here. Still don't understand why people don't like Tron Legacy. I don't know, man. Uncultured Swine is what it is. That's going to be the next Uncultured Swine video. That's going to be that one. Let's see here. The Guardian canceled Skyscrapers. I did see that, Safety. Yeah, where the Guardian canceled Skyscrapers because it's giant erect penises in the sky. God forbid the Guardian ever comes to Washington, D.C. and sees the Washington Monument. They're just going to die. They're just going to freak out and die because of how big and erect. It looks like a joint, or a big penis. Have I seen Grace's Alien Predator video? No, I haven't. Let's see here. You don't understand how Grace Randolph likes the theatrical. What a BVS? Okay, yeah, her opinion's officially trash. Hey, when do you think Zack Snyder Justice League can start shooting? Well, they shot the movie, so whatever the additional footage is going to be is most likely going to be green screen. So probably anytime. Let's see here. Is John Campea really moving to Seattle? Yes, he is, because his wife got a job working with Amazon. So if you already hate John Campea enough, now his wife works for Amazon. And they're a pretty horrible company too. Let's see. George Lucas is pretty left. So is Mark Hamill, yet the OT and Skywalker are beloved. Exactly. 100%. 100%. Oh, yeah. They lefty as fuck, and they are, look at all the fandom menace guys. Those guys that like are all right wing, chuds, and they're out there going like, Luke Skywalker is my hero. Like Luke Skywalker would hate you. Like I saw the guy, what was it? The dude who writes, who's doing the Fandom Menace novel, the book, right? And he did this he put together this stump speech, called we won't kneel or something, and it was just like I watched the video, it was going around and people are like, yes, this is what we need, beating their chest, probably viciously masturbating at the same time. And then they're just like, yeah, we without respect, we reject, we blah 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 blah. And I'm like, and I just quote tweeted it and said, dude, all your heroes hate you. Like all your heroes hate you. Hollywood has been left as hell for years. I think it's difficult. Let's see here. Grace said, she says the franchises are too 90s and need to be revamped. She also thinks Marvel will do better comics than Dark Horse. What? Her opinions aren't trash. She's just kooky. I met her actually a couple years ago. Can confirm. It can't be. It's a while ago. It's a while ago. I need to get more videos with John Campia once he moves. Yeah, I agree. I need to. I'll do that when I see him. Okay, so I'm gonna close this thing up here in probably a couple minutes. So again, one last push. Head over to facebook.com/groups/3Buck Theater. Get in on the action over there. A lot of fun. Posting lots of stuff. Trying to build the Facebook group predominantly because look, I've been on for 40 minutes. We now have nearly 60 people watching. But I posted this thing, a notification went out. It's not going out. So there's that. And also, I'm probably not going to clip any of these segments up. I kind of overdid it yesterday. I will fully admit. I got in my old active routine of long form video, cut it up, put it out there. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to do this. This is more fun anyway. Let's see here. Yeah, make videos of Campia. If he would, I met Campia last summer. I met him at Comic-Con. So if Campia would, I would hit him up, go, hey, I'll take you out to lunch or dinner or something like that. I'm a poor boy, so we would just go hit up a taco truck. Wear your mask because COVID is pretty crazy in Seattle. And so I would do that. Yeah, I would try to meet up with those guys. I don't think they ever would though. I mean, I'm pretty certain they know who I am. I mean, pretty sure. I'm kind of a big deal. So there's that. Anyway, have I seen Hamilton? I have not then. I have not. I need to. Grace is oddly attractive. Yes, you're weird. Yeah, I think Grace is attractive. Yes, I do. You know what it is? It's kind of and it's, I don't want to demean her. I think she has a lot of talent. I do. I think she knows a lot about comic books. I think she's good at what she does. Clearly she has an audience. I criticize the opinions because sometimes the opinions are just, nuts. Someone I criticized her yesterday and someone's like, what's up with this Grace hate? Are you just jealous? That's such a defeat, such minimalistic defense. Or are you just jealous? No, I'm not jealous, man. But can I critique what she says? Can I go, I disagree? Anyway, let's see here. Fourth Wall says, I'm not watching Disney movies. So Whoopi Goldberg could play Storm. Why not? Why not? Let's see here. You still believe that Metello should be the main villain over Doomsday? The animated Death of Superman movie did him more justice. Sure. All right. Grace Randolph is the Joe Rivers of movie talk. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, wow. Okay. I said not at all. Oh, right. Oh my God. I remember that was the first time I ever saw Grace Randolph was when I came across that PG-13 Deadpool petition. That's the first time I had heard about Grace Randolph and I was laughing my ass off at that. Cause I'm like, this is what? I mean, her point was I get her point. And in all things considered, Deadpool 2's Once Upon a Deadpool kind of backed that up a little bit. But in 2016, early 2016, when she put that out there, it was just ridiculous. But her point is salient. It's hey, it's dealing with China. But it made $796 million without going to China, So, I mean, you could make it work. But yeah, it's still kind of dumb. Let's see here. What do you think of Brie Larson starting a YouTube channel? I don't care. You know what I mean? I tried watching it. It was boring. I got a couple minutes in, turned it off. It is boring. Let's see here. Hold on. You always mention her, but she never why would she mention me? Grace never mentions anybody. That argument is so lame. It's so dumb. Like, she never mentions anybody, period. Point blank. Do you ever see her canoodle with other movie YouTubers or other pundits online, unless they've got a blue check mark next to their name? Or like they can, whatever. No, she never does it. She never does it. She keeps out of everything. I only met her because I was at VidCon 2018 in the industry track, which is like the track you got to spend $700 to get into. And I met her briefly as she was like getting off an escalator, like that was it, dude. And trust me, she looked more disheveled in person than she does in her videos. She looked outright confused when I met her. Did I ever meet John Schnepp? Yes, once at Comic-Con. It was a passing by situation. He was walking towards me. I just said, "Hey man, love the documentary." He went, "Thank you." And then that was it. That was my only interaction with him. Yes, Grace Randolph blocked me on Twitter. I don't know. So did Christian Harloff though. So there's that. Let's see here. Starship Troopers, the book, greater than the movie. That is true. How was John Campia? Very nice. He was very nice. He's very personable. So was Robert Meyer Burnett. So is Christian Harloff. I met all three of them. They're very nice. Am I going to be live on YouTube tonight? I don't know. Probably. It all depends on when I get home from doing deliveries and if I can get tomorrow's Milk Carton Mysteries prepped up. I meant to go live last night. I was kind of balls deep in this case. I was researching the podcast goes live on the Matt Jarbo channel in about 40 minutes. If you guys are looking for like something to listen to, I got about a 30-minute podcast going up then. It's a premiere. But I was looking into the story of this girl who just went missing like a couple days ago out of Montana. And it's like, so she's missing supposedly with her ex-boyfriend, who's also been abusive towards her. They have a 3-year-old son. He's been abusive towards the son. That's confirmed. This guy is like not that good of a dude, but they've been gone. Her cell phone ended up in a dumpster. His cell phone pinged like in Idaho, and they're from Montana. The mom of the boyfriend is out there like trying to do the defense thing. Like they're together. They're all happy. The dad of the girl in that same thread on Facebook is like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. If he kills my girl, he's like, I'm gonna come at you guys hardcore. Like not even like the guy, but like felt like he was threatening the family. Then the dad goes on Facebook and he starts asking for money to like go to Vegas to hunt this guy down because they think they're going to Vegas. It's a fucking crazy story, man. Anyway, it's great to see you going enthusiastic full steam. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. Depression sucks, dude. I want to do more lives. They're fun. They wipe me out. They do. They wipe me the fuck out, which is why I do the Milk Carton Mysteries beforehand. I have to do it separately because that's a total different thing. This is a lot more fun. Let's see here. Okay. I don't know how everyone's talking about Grace. Does pineapple no, it doesn't belong on pizza. That's a fucking travesty. It's disgusting. You should never do it. You should never do it. So, all right. Last thing I'll say. Support the Cash App because I need to still make money. Anyway, no. All right, guys. So here's the thing. Join the Facebook group. Post some stories. I'll talk about them tomorrow. I'm going to go because I got to go take care of my kids. I want to keep these around like 30 to 45 minutes at most. And let's see here. I appreciate everyone coming on in, man. Batman, Superman, we may not agree on a lot, but I appreciate you coming on in. Bat Dan, thank you again. You guys have both been on the show too. We'll do a call in later on. I think Thursday. I'll tell you, I'll do a call in show Thursday night, earlier in the evening. Maybe I'm taking that night off. I have other things to do. I'm not going to be delivering that night. So I'll do a call in show early, and I need to plan another Hollywood After Dark trailer park. So we got to do that too. A lot of stuff coming up. But anyway, I will talk to you guys. Donate or you'll make the baby you'll make babies Jarbo cry like me being the baby? I'm not a baby. I'm a big boy. I wipe my own butt front to back, baby. Front to back. No UTI. Wait, no, that's not me. I have a penis. Sorry. Anyway. All right. Yeah. Remember, guys. Okay. Thank you again. I'm going to go. All right, guys. Have yourself a great day. Enjoy something fun. Watch a movie and peace out.